Okay. This should be working. Say something.
Something.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's a lot better. Alright. Yep, so I'm recording now, which is good. Yay. Oh, wait. I have myself muted. I'm recording now, so that's good. Yay.
Thank you.
Which class of mage is the simplest? Is it wizard?
Which class is what?
Which magic class is the simplest?
I'd say warlock.
All right. It is very early morning. The caravan's actually starting to have more people wake up. Robin, when you get a chance, don't forget perception
Oh,
and initiative.
yeah. Alright.
It is a cold morning, though the sky is clear. Sun is close to rising. Galdo has left you, Aldrik. You were on watch and gone to take care of the horses. And there's more activity as the sun starts to come up. More people coming to the fire, adding some tinder, starting the fire up to start some morning breakfast. You see some of the guards that come on their rotation, pretty much not paying much attention to the campsite in general. They seem to be patrolling, but not making a big deal of talking to the people around the campsites, more just patrolling the edge. Also, there's a couple of the drivers are coming by saying that Abuela's planning on getting the caravan onto the road within an hour.
Right.
Aldrik, did you want to talk to Alvin? Okay. Alvin looks up as Aldrik approaches and says, "Oh, good morning." Alvin kind of blinks at Aldrik, confused. Ooh, something I was. Oh. Alvin kind of puts his hand in his pocket. Oh. Okay. Not yet, I think. It's certainly no danger to you or the rest of the group. But I'll let you know if it becomes anything significant.
Okay, so Aldrik went to wake up Alvin, and he's like, "Good morning. I was patrolling last night, and I theoretically casting detect magic, and I know something was new that you were wearing."
About this time, Bo kind of like appears over Alvin's shoulder and gives Aldrik kind of like a look from the side, and then goes back
Maybe
underneath the bedroll. Additionally, there are more people starting to come towards the fire. The newest additions to the caravan, one of the sisters, you're not quite sure which one it is, comes. Her hair's all tousled, and oops. And I'll let Alvin reply to Aldrik again.
I'll just type it out real quick if you want to keep going.
Okay, so one of the sisters comes out. You know, her hair's all tousled, and her brother comes out as well. So Grundon and you're not quite sure which one, looks more like Arietta, are coming up to the fire. They're kind of looking over into some of the pots. It doesn't look like they're cooking anything themselves, and they definitely look into Galdo's pot that's got some porridge boiling in it. And Arietta says, "We had rats get into our food supplies and food stores, so perhaps we could borrow some from you guys and pay you back."
Alvin looks at Galdo. I believe that's up to him.
Galdo's kind of like over near the horses, but he did hear. He kind of looks and he goes, "That's fine. I always bring extra." And immediately Grundon seems to procure a bowl out of who knows where and starts dipping into the porridge. Sits down near the what's left of the warmth and goes, "Where's the rest of your group? If we're leaving in an hour, aren't they supposed to be awake soon?" Arietta says, "Oh, I think there's enough time for you, Mr. Club, to take me over and introduce me."
Aldrik says, "If you say so."
Alvin kind of gives her a sideways glance.
Some concern of our aura of communication.
Sure, I suppose we can head over there.
So she kind of like holds out her arm, waiting to have you take her arm.
Alvin kind of just stares at it, not knowing what that means. Is your arm okay?
"Oh, yes, but my hand is a little cold. Can I tuck it in your arm?"
Sure, but I mean, I think we have cloaks over here somewhere.
No, a cloak would hide my dress. And she starts like with her other hand. She grabs you with one hand and then starts patting her hair down with the other. Says, if I'm going to meet the members of Roldagast, I have to look my best.
Here we go.
She says, "How do I look?" She kind of looks at you.
Oh, you look good. Very, very nice. Very pretty.
"Oh, thank you. Thank you."
Out of character, what is their last name?
So their last name is Inavar. I don't know if they've actually ever said their full name.
Oh, okay, then we're Citadel. Okay, never mind then.
Galdo at this point in time kind of tries to wake Kale and Robin. Says, we'll be leaving pretty soon, and you guys might want to get the wagon ready for the truck.
Already? Goddamn. Alright, I'm up. I'm just... Kale wraps up his bedroll and then goes to the bushes to take a leak.
Okay. Yeah, when you return, Galdo hands you the horse brush. Says, yeah, get them connected to the wagon after you have breakfast. Thanks. And he goes off. Not quite sure where. It looks like he's heading over to where there might be a water source.
Kale looks at the horse brush and he just on the horses to clean them up and then attaches the horses to the wagon. Skips breakfast. He's not taking any chances.
Yeah. Breakfast is very familiar. There's both tea and porridge.
Yeah, nope.
And Robin, are you going to get up or?
Robin's up.
Okay.
Begrudgingly, but she's up.
Yeah, there's more people around the campsite now. A couple of families have come with the little kids starting to play things like tag and very, very active for this time of the morning when other people are just rising slowly. Trym also gets up and she starts getting her armor back on. And you can see among the other campsites, other people are getting ready. People are starting to attach their horses to their wagons and carriages. And Zelina comes out from her tent as well and says to her brother, Grundon, I think you need to help me lower this tent and get it all packed up. And where's Arietta? And Grundon kind of looks pointedly at the retreating backs of Alvin and Arietta. And she actually looks a little angry at this point.
Arietta does or Zelina does?
Zelina does.
Oh.
Alvin, you probably wouldn't see because you're kind of
Right. I just wanted clarification.
But yeah, Zelina's back at the camp and she's kind of glaring around and she goes, well, fine. Some sisters just stab you in the back. And then she sits down and says, it's one of these porridge bowls for me.
We had an incident with the porridge bowls a couple days back. I mean, you're free to eat them. I'm just saying, like, they might not be safe just yet.
Incident?
Yeah, I mean, like, somebody tried to kill a kid or something. I don't know. I'm just the squire.
She looks at you. There's a lot of kids around here. I wouldn't mind, offing a couple of them anyway.
Kale is like, what?
I mean,
but he just...
And then she just kind of like looks down at the porridge. Well, fine, I'll take some tea. And she hands her bowl of porridge to the nearest kid.
Mental note to self, this kid is... I mean, this lady is just...
Okay. So, Alvin, Arietta has a pretty tight grip on your arm. And she's talking about her dreams of last night. And telling you about the places she's visited, and she really is so excited about seeing Waterdeep again soon. It's the City of Splendors, you know.
The closer we get to the Householder Ghost wagon, the less and less Alvin is actually listening to her. And he just kind of gets distracted.
Okay. As you approach the carriage, you don't see Khan on the driver's seat. You see one of the main guards who is staying near the wagon. The other one, the bedroll's all rolled up and gone. And the back of the wagon carriage does not have anyone sleeping in it either. So you're not quite sure where Khan is at this point in time. And the one guard that is there kind of looks at you, looks at her, and says, "Awfully early, isn't it?"
Yes, but good morning nonetheless. Is Nebulia awake?
Yes, my lady doesn't sleep that much, and seemed a little restless last night.
Is she okay?
Yes, I don't know if she's taking visitors right now.
Alvin looks at Arietta. Would you mind us coming back later then, when Nebulia's feeling up to it?
Oh, but I was hoping maybe we could, or I could, ride with her today. I'm sure that she would be willing to share such a wonderfully smooth carriage.
Alvin frowns at her. She's not feeling well, Arietta. Are you really going to put her out of her way?
Oh, well, I guess if she's maybe motion sick, I wouldn't want to be in the carriage with her. Uh, Perhaps she'd be willing to have tea with me later. Let me just check. And she starts to stroll forward to knock on the carriage door. And as her hand is outstretched, the guard kind of like grabs her arm and says, "Not this morning." And then he says, "Miss," afterward. And she drops her arm and says, "Well, maybe when the caravan stops. Mr. Porkin, you will bring me back when the caravan stops, right?"
Alvin nods. Yes, I will.
"Thank you." And then she grabs your arm again. "I would like to be escorted back, please."
Okay. Alvin will nod and say, okay. Thank you. Alvin will wave goodbye to the guard and then return back to our wagon.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so she returns back. She sees that her brother has cleaned up the tent and put things in their wagon. And there's much more activity now. There's more people getting ready. Galdo returns and says, "Yeah, I think we're going to be on the road very soon."
Okay. Alvin will detach himself from Arietta and help with packing up everything.
Okay.
Oh, and he'll talk to Aldrik. I think Aldrik wanted to talk about something as well. But we can do that in the side chat.
Okay. So yeah, you guys start getting everything ready. It's something that you've done many days in a row. It's very familiar. You can almost tell when the wagons are going to be ready to roll. Yeah, as you're getting close to those finishing minutes, Aldrik does call everyone over to talk about a little bit of what was discovered. You guys stick very close to the wagon. You get a couple of suspicious looks mostly from the newest people, but they don't come over to interrupt at all.
Out of character, did we discuss Miss Newser and the necromancy thing last night, or were we already asleep?
I really thought we did.
I'm just double checking. I don't know if Aldrik's recapping, or I think we've already discussed this all in character before Aldrik, unless you're saying something else.
Yeah, it looks like kind of more of a recap.
Oh. Did he have anything to say that you know of? Is Trym with us? Oh, I guess it's kind of hard to talk to Trym when Trym's not actually here.
Yeah, so I'm going to say that Trym will share some of what happened. So she says, so Trym says, yes, I did confront him. He was a little puzzling and walked with a limp that I don't really believe was a real one. He said he was just strolling because he has trouble sleeping, but again, I don't believe him.
And he was watching our wagon, or he was just walking by?
He was walking by. He barely even came towards our campfire, just past the into the light. But he wasn't. He never threatened us. But he did know that Grog was around, even though Grog was sneaking around back to him.
That dog of yours is magical?
No.
Huh. Either he's got one of smell, or that dog is magical.
It's worth noting that we've already seen the Red Wizard use illusion types to cover himself and his retreat. Is that correct? Wait, do we know that in character? I remember reading about how he turned himself into like a small little gnome and like a herd of deer or something. But do we know that in character that the Red Wizard is doing that?
I'm trying to remember if someone had insight for that.
I think Trym and Aldrik were the ones watching that. I can't remember. Should I assume we did, or we do, or do not? So that depends on what that's going to change what I'm going to say.
Yeah. Okay. So Trym was the one who actually she saw the distractions, but then she got distracted with Grog, if I remember how that scene had played out on the side. So, but she did notice that every time she saw or caught sight of this strange red wizard, that something would happen, and by the time she looked back, he would be gone. And it wouldn't always be the same thing. But the very first time was when she had spotted an odd-looking jester with bells on, the gnome with bells on all his clothes. Very colorful.
Okay. And if I recall correctly, we know Mr. and Mrs. Newsor from the very beginning of our adventure. Is that correct?
You met them.
Met. Okay, that's a better word.
Robin met them a little bit more than you guys, because you guys were helping Nyx at the time. But they were the next wagon that got stopped by the downed everything. The cart that was turned over, the chaos during that attack.
Aldrik, Robin, you encountered the Mrs. Newsor over by House Wodergoth's wagon? Or wait, was that Aldrik or Trym?
It was Aldrik and Robin, I believe.
Okay, that's what I thought.
At the time, yeah, Aldrik was doing a lot of detect magic.
That's right, and Robin was looking into Khan's mind and seeing that there was a second person.
Yes. And at that time, Nabelia...
The thing I saw was an old crusty thing, I believe. Really, really old thing.
As in undead old, or as in just like ancient, decrepit kind of?
Let me look.
Because if we got a vibe from Miss Newsor.
I'm so bad at this. But this is also something I would tell you guys, so... Alright, so... Yeah, it was something very old and rotten. I don't know if that means undead or if it's just old. But...
go ahead, roll an insight check.
Alright, insight. Oh yeah, by the way... Wait, I saw Khan getting into a carriage with the giant emissaries.
When?
While ago?
As in last night, or multiple days ago?
When did I see this? I'm sorry, I'm so bad.
This morning.
This morning.
This morning. That's not entirely unexpected if whoever is controlling Khan's mind is seeking to gain as much information as possible.
Let's see here. What was I doing again?
Insight.
Oh, yes. Just like, ooh, shiny. Alright.
Kale does an arcana check. Creepy old necrotic things that may be assessing as well.
All right.
Okay, inside. There it is. Took me a while to find it. Oh,
Looking for a
roll.
particular creature
Alright.
of any kind, if something like that is possible.
Okay, and both of you are proficient in those things?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so Robin, I'll start with you. What you had felt from Khan did feel very ancient. And I think undead would be a pretty accurate term. You come from the fields of the dead, so you've dealt with many different forms of undead, and it felt kind of like that, even though you've never read their minds. That was just the sensation you could get from Khan when you tried to read
So yeah, it was
his mind.
It was definitely an undead thing. I would know that kind of thing.
Okay, and Kale, from pretty much from what Lex has talked to you about, in terms of undead things that could be within the mind of someone else, you know or he knows that liches actually can transfer some of their consciousness, especially, for example, if they die or and they don't get back to their phylactery.
Kale looks at Lex funny. What's a lich?
You just hear Lex muttering, I could have chosen someone else, if only.
Kale shares the idea that it could be a lich.
Did you say a leech?
It's a lich. You see.
An itch?
Apparently, leech. Yes.
How much would Alvin know about liches? I mean, I can't imagine very much, but would he know what one is at all?
Go ahead, roll a history check.
Great
It's
roll.
a pitch?
No, in the monastery, they didn't really talk much about undead. And Aldrik might, so he could roll either a history, or if you'd like, you can roll, I want to say religion.
Immediately jumps on the religion.
Yeah. I'll let you do guidance or add guidance if you'd like. Okay. Actually, the Church of Lathander really hates undead. The temple that is in Waterdeep is largely devoted against vampires, but you have had experience fighting many different forms of undead, including you have been exposed to one lich in your time, and at that point in time, when the group you were with killed the lich, it was not permanently dead because it retreated to its phylactery and actually regenerated itself in 10 days and came after you guys again.
Dang it, Aldrik, why did you have to bring this lich to us? Not cool, man. Not cool.
Yeah. The other thing, actually, that both Aldrik and Kale would know is many liches are undead wizards.
Do liches have an interest in politics? Asking Kale and or
That's
Aldrich, even though Aldrich's
That's a
already
good
talking.
question.
Okay. So if anyone wants to roll a history check, this would be a different history check. All right. Lex points out to you, Kale, that the leader of the Red Wizards of Thay is actually a lich.
Hey, Robin,
So,
would you mind muting your mic, please? Thank you.
So, in terms of having an interest in politics, yes, there's actually a leader that's a lich. And probably not the first one.
Interesting. Okay.
Political undead wizards. Now that's a title I can get under. So what are we gonna do? We're just gonna Satan be gone this kid, or
I think the plan is still to try to dispel the influence. Though this is a great deal of information that I think might change someone's opinion. Though it may not.
You mean your girlfriend?
Girlfriend? Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Oh, come on. I
she's
see the way she...
no. Oh, Trym's like friend and a girl. And so is
Wait.
Robin.
Oh. Oh, well, I was talking about somebody else.
Alvin squints at Kale.
Kale
Anyways,
squints back at Alvin.
All right. About this time, the caravan looks like it is starting to go. Some of the furthest wagons towards the front, Buela's specifically, is shouting for the start. And you see drivers up and down the caravan that are jumping up onto the wagons.
Keep talking. Gotta go.
Zelina appears at your side at this time and says, "Can I ride in your wagon?
No.
Is there room?"
No and no.
Kale, don't be rude.
I am not being rude. I'm being honest.
Well, you're the driver, right? I won't.
Yes.
I won't interrupt you. I'll just sit in the back.
No space in the back.
Go ahead, roll a deception. Okay. You can roll as well, and then if it's above 10, then you would add 2.
Lucky for me, I'm proficient. I don't use this roll enough.
Deception. Okay, so she says, "Oh, well, I was hoping to get away from my sister. Maybe I will find someone else to ride with." And you see her set back down a couple of more carriages and actually start talking to Oin.
Trym's gonna love that.
I was actually just going to recommend that she sits at the late funny animals, but looks like she did it without me.
You do see Oin let her up onto the driver's seat with her.
So, can I do one of my tinker checks? I'm gonna
Sure.
make another rabbit.
Okay.
So,
Robin, I swear to God, by the end of this trip, we'll have a chest full of your toys, and then we don't know what to do with it.
well, actually, I only have one right now.
Which is why I said at the end of this trip.
Alright, so which one do I click?
The rabbit was a medium one, I believe.
Alright. Ah. So yeah, you just hear a lot of frustrated noises from the back of the cart.
Who cares? They probably don't care about us, honestly.
It seems far too much of a coincidence that they are casting some sort of necromancy that resonates with whatever's going on with Roldegost for them to not be involved somehow.
Well, you want to walk up to them and then tell them, "Hey, can you please stop invading this poor child's mind?"
No, I want to discuss the possibilities and the options for which we can go forward knowing this information.
Okay, possibility A, we confront them. Possibility B, we kill them.
Possibility
Possibility
C,
C.
they attack us if we dispel the magic, in which case we should be ready and know what to do.
You can see fireballs start crackling up in his fingertip.
Boila, we are already on edge with Boila, Kale. We can't go around just casting fireballs and lighting up half the caravan.
We also can't let liches.
I lost you there. All I heard was that we also can't let liches.
We can't let liches be snitches, man.
It seems like the only option we have is just to dispel it and see what happens.
I'm down for that.
The issue is that I can't even get close to Khan at this point. He's actively avoiding me. The only way I can foreseeably see us getting close enough to dispel the magic is to either A, sneak up on him, which his guards will not take kindly to, by the way, or B, convince Nobilia to lure him into such a way that we can get close to him. But I'm not entirely confident I can convince her to help us.
Possibility C, we kidnap him anyway.
Kale.
Come on, it's a solid plan. You and me, we go in sneaky beaky, all invisible. Like, the guards won't know a thing. They think Khan's just out playing. We dispel the magic. We return Khan all sneaky beaky, like, and then no one's the wiser.
What does just in close visual range mean, Aldrik? If you had to ballpark it in yards, like 30 yards?
I think it's more like 30 feet.
Oh, was it in feet? I forget.
120 feet.
Okay, that's not too bad. And I believe Robin already said that he went to see the emissary this morning. There's a chance he could still be there, right?
I can make the two of you invisible. You guys kidnap him, and then
We won't need to kidnap him, Kale. We can just cast it at a distance and hope it works.
okay,
If
fine.
you guys like, I could use my thing to see if he's there.
We have the same thought, Robin. I was just about to ask you. Would you
I
mind?
could do it from outside the carriage, but in like if there's like an air vent or something, I could put it like in there.
Here's a thought. Can liches detect that kind of magic?
Probably.
Probably.
If we do that, would he not be super on alert as soon as he leaves the wagon?
Probably.
I don't know how magic works. Somebody help.
Neither do I.
Well,
Okay, then let's hear
One-
thoughts. Who
one
thinks we
second.
should use clairvoyance, and who
second.
thinks we should go without it?
1 second, I need to ask a question.
I say we should just go without clairvoyance. I can make Alvin and Aldrik invisible. Aldrik can get in close enough. Alvin can lay back up in case something goes sour really quickly.
And I
If
guess
something goes sour really quickly, then
I
I'm
can
pretty sure Aldrik
I
can use
can do another
thaumaturgy and call
performance,
us.
make everybody distracted.
I think if we're invisible, we won't need to. I think that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Well, if he can detect magic, then he might detect you guys being invisible.
Is that something you can do all the time?
No. Because I would be the one casting invisibility on those two. Those two would just be invisible. You would need C invisibility to do that. I think.
Well, how do you know Lich can't do that?
I'm pretty sure they could, but like, come on.
This is
They
kind of
cast
the best
3
plan we
spells
have, I think.
simultaneously. I tap on my temples. Even he can't do that.
What's your thought, Aldrik?
Well, I'd say he probably is on the lookout for it, knowing that we do magic.
Did he sense your detect thoughts?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. It's best to assume that he did.
It's best to assume that his two friends, the Mr. and Mrs. Newsor, probably alerted him to
Yes.
people casting detect magic around the Household Ghost wagon. So, if anything, he's already on alert.
Yes, so I think my distractions will at least... I won't be that close to them, I'll just... So when are we actually going to put this plan to action anyways?
Immediately would be best if
Now,
you saw him going
yes.
to the emissary this morning.
Is the cart already moving?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Alright.
Robin, well, it comes down to, should we class clairvoyance or should we just go without it?
Uh,
Can you cast Claire? What's the vision range on clairvoyance? Like how far can you see?
I think I can. Let me take a look. Let me take a look. I'm looking. I'm looking.
Okay, Aldrik says without. What do you think, Kale?
Oh yeah, I can be up to a mile.
Yeah, what I was thinking is if you put it like, say, 300 feet in the air, right above their cart, you would at least have some semblance if he's still there or not. But in the 10 minutes that it takes for you to cast it, I'm pretty sure he'd be gone. So
The eye doesn't move, does it? Her clairvoyant?
no, it doesn't.
So the wagon would keep
Well-
moving, and the thing would just stay in the
Well,
air.
I can.
True.
I think I can
She,
move
she
it.
can continually move it. Yeah, it's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay.
I just have to like take a second between switching between hearing and seeing, but I can continually move it.
Okay, I think Aldrik has a good point, though, that it might be better to save your energy in case we piss off a lich.
Yeah.
Or whatever Mr. and Mrs. Newsor are.
All right.
So
Get ready to cast clairvoyance anyway. I say within the time that Alvin and Aldrik will be messing with Khan, your clairvoyance could help us with good intel. You could check the suspicious cards, the ones that we've already marked down. If a fight breaks out, then that will be a good distraction for you to check all the cards.
I guess.
on the short term, I think invisibility is a good idea. Are you fine with that, Aldrik? I feel bad making him type out an essay every time while we continue the
I know, right? I'll be fine.
Okay.
You
When
guys
you're
ready?
ready, Aldrik, I'm ready.
Kale asks Galdo to hold the reins for a little bit.
Galdo, who's been listening, she guys holds the reins and says, "Be very careful. I only caught some of it, but if you're talking liches, definitely dangerous. You might want to enlist some help."
No shit. Any ideas?
After you were so rude to him, it's just all, "Don't die."
Alright, sounds great. Kale quickly casts invisibility and then hops back on the wagon seat.
Okay. Then Alvin will hop out, hopefully discreetly.
Kale yells to the back of the wagon, "It lasts an hour, don't do anything dumb." Or wait, I take that back, do everything dumb.
And with that sage guidance, I believe we'll head towards House Wildergast. Aldrik or Alvin will whisper back. Yep, ready when you are.
Okay, so let's go through this again. So you are approaching the carriage right now, which is actually ahead of you guys by about 4 carriages.
You're approaching the emissary carriage, to be clear. I think I said House
Oh, okay.
Wildergast, I meant the
Yes, you did. Okay, and
Stay in the
chill,
cart.
Yeah, chill for now, if you don't mind.
okay,
Do you have
the giant emissary, the emissary to the giants, is approximately 5 carriages back. You don't see a sign of either the emissary or the Orcon. You're assuming they're inside the carriage. However, on the outside, you do see the driver today is Wildy, and you do see a couple of the people that you had seen in the let me say the upper dark when you guys were exploring Dragonspear, the ones that had escaped the dungeon.
Are any of them speaking?
Speaking? No,
Like, is there any conversation going on?
no. It looks like Florio is on the back of the carriage, being pretty much a guard. Kyra and the other one are on separate horses to the side, not right next to the carriage.
Okay. To an aside with Aldrik, it doesn't look like they're here. Out of character, would we know how long it's been time-wise since Robin saw him go into the cart or the wagon even?
You guys had conversed intensely for a while. It's probably only been somewhere around half an hour, 45 minutes. Like I said, the carriage itself is closed, so you don't
Oh, it's
know.
closed. It's not
Yes.
empty. Oh, I
It's not
misunderstood.
empty. It's closed. So they could be inside.
Aldrik, would detect magic cancel invisibility?
Sadly, yes.
Hmm.
Now he had cast it beforehand.
Yeah, I'm thinking they might be inside. It hasn't been that long, and I got the sense from Khan yesterday when he was speaking on Abilia that he wants to gather as much information as possible. You don't have to see him to cast it? Oh, interesting. Okay. You can do it 3 times a day, if I remember correctly from your little play fight with Kale yesterday. Twice. Okay. But it'll cancel your invisibility. You could outcast me? What does that mean? Out of character.
That was when Kale outcast him. He had 3 casts of
Oh,
invisibility.
I thought you said the Lich would
to his-
outcast him. Okay, that makes more sense.
Oh, the Lich will definitely outcast him.
I see. Okay. So, Aldrik, I'll leave it to your discretion. Do you want to try and find a place to hide and attempt? Or would you rather wait here and wait to see when Khan, if, comes out? Okay, then we'll wait a little bit.
Okay, so are you guys not anywhere near the carriage itself, kind of like looking discreetly? Maybe.
The carriage only has one door, right?
The carriage only has no, actually this carriage would, most carriages have 2 doors. One that's used most often, but
Are they both on one side, or are they one on
no,
each side?
the one on
Okay.
each side.
Then, well, I imagine we would see them if they opened up the other side anyways. So yeah, I think half an hour, like Aldrik said. Just walking off to the side, seeing.
So yeah, walking off to the side. And it's just Aldrich who's invisible?
Alvin is too.
Okay, so I was just checking how many casts of. Okay, so yeah, you guys are walking beside or nearby. It's actually a pretty pleasant morning. The guards actually do start talking to each other a little bit. It seems to be very innocuous talk, things about sleeping, what they saw on. Oh, thanks, Kale. What they saw on patrol, and one of them does mention seeing a swarm of bats, and otherwise, yeah, they're just chatting. You don't hear any noise from inside the carriage. And Kale, you cast it twice.
No, I used a level 3 spell. It targets 1 additional person.
Oh, I see. You upgraded it. Got
Yep.
it. Okay. Okay. All right. And Robin, you're back at the wagon? With the tinkering. Okay.
I was having a bad time with the thing I was trying to make, but I'm failing miserably.
All right. All right. And the caravan's going at a pretty reasonable pace. It's something that is on the faster side of the pace that Vuela usually keeps, meaning that if you were to walk beside the caravan, you kind of have to occasionally jog a little bit. And Kale, you're staying with the wagon as well, correct?
Messages.
I'm driving.
It doesn't mean you can't hand off the reins as you've done before. And Robin, I sent something in chat, just FYI. Okay. And otherwise, Wildy at the front of the emissary's wagon is starting to try to hold a conversation with Florio in the back. He's like kind of shouting over the whole carriage itself, asking about what he saw when he went exploring. And he's telling the story of how he almost died on this trip, and that it's been one of the hardest trips he's had ever.
What do you mean you didn't have to fight left the Lich's minions? Or you didn't have two giant hard-eating birds attack you? Definitely not a typical caravan trip.
Okay. Alvin will tap Aldrik's shoulder and kind of point further back in the caravan where our sneaky gnome friend, or halfling friend, excuse me, is walking through the nearby bushes.
And
What?
Nebelia, I would say, is about. She acts older than she is. She's probably only maybe about 20, 22 maybe.
Goddamn. Wait, is she a human?
Nebelia? Yes.
Hoping she was an elf or something.
She's a half orc.
Damn it, I knew it. You like them chunky, don't you?
That one doesn't know what that means. Aldrik, did you catch what Alvin pointed out?
Oops. Sorry, don't know what that was.
Alvin nods. Yeah, just probably should keep an eye on her. Hypothetically speaking, can you cast it on someone who isn't there? Like, would that take off your invisibility and waste what little magic you're able to do each day? Or would it just nothing? Would just nothing happen? Is that how it works, Cindy? If like he's not there and he casts it, does it go off?
Sorry. I was writing something.
It's
Okay,
okay.
so if he casts,
If he casts a spell magic on Khan and say Khan isn't in the wagon, does the spell still go off and he like loses his invisibility?
yes.
So okay, so even if he casts a spell magic on something that isn't there, it still goes off.
Right.
We have about half an hour of invisibility left. Do you want to give it a shot out of sight of the rest of these people? And then maybe try again later if nothing happens? Honestly, if we're worried about Khan's reaction, I have a strong feeling that if Khan reverts to how he normally is, it won't be very long before the emissary finds a reason to escort him out of his carriage.
Out of character, can you cast Dispel Magic as an area of effect? Like, could you target the entire inside of the wagon?
I'd have to look.
It says any creature, object, or magical effect. I guess technically the carriage is an object, but I don't know if that would affect the contents of the carriage. Aldrik, in hindsight, we should have had Robin inspire you for this.
Oh gosh, why don't I say this? So there are some bushes around. I don't know why I'm typing it. There are some bushes around. Yes, no boulder that's large enough to hide a dwarf, but definitely some bushes and shrubs and a couple of trees. Not as many as further south.
Okay. Alvin won't go into the bushes. He'll kind of stay nearest to the car, like where he has been. Try and keep an eye out for anything unusual that might happen. And kind of keeping an eye on Jimna as well.
Okay. Second. Let me just check where we are with Jenna. Yeah, you don't see Jemna after a moment. You just caught her briefly, and then she disappeared.
No. Okay.
Okay, and Aldrik, you're casting this at level 3, right?
I'd be upset if he has a level 4 slot.
True. Okay. All right. Let me see what the... And Kale, did you talk to him about... Well, actually, I don't know if you knew the spell type.
Wouldn't Aldrik know the spell type from his magic thing he did last night?
He knows...
He knew it was necromancy, for instance, right?
Right. But I don't think he would know the level, is what I was
Oh.
figure out.
It's a level 1 spell, right?
Okay. Yes, no. All right. So you are just casting towards the carriage, hoping that Khan's inside and focusing on dispelling like a necromancy spell. Okay. So yes, you would need to roll.
Would Aldrik know if the spell's successful? Or is it just up in the air?
That I don't know.
There's no like blowback, like, oh, it didn't work, or it hit a wall or something.
Yes, so a level 7 spell would be dispelled.
Does anyone know what mind control is?
In before lich, just saying.
Hmm?
No, in before lich. A lich pops out of the giant emissary. It's like, who's messing with me? And then we're all like, nobody, sir.
It was Wildy, the driver.
Don't know if okay. Sorry. Okay. Give me a second. Let me answer Robin and then. So, okay. So this is a little complicated. For example, the spell that Lex used to make essentially transpose himself is based on, because he was an experimenter of magic. This is something that Kale and I had discussed before. Based on the magic jar spell, which is a level 6 spell, but with alterations heading towards immortality, it would obviously go up in terms of spell level. You know that this sort of magic is probably related to that magic jar spell. Spells such that necromancers use, such as, for example, dominate monster, is a level 8 spell. And then spells such as imprisonment, which is a bit related to how this is working, is a level 9 spell. In general, most liches are very high level, but that doesn't mean that that it's impossible to dispel it. But usually, the way to get rid of their natural or their body is to kill it, and then break the phylactery.
The issue, obviously, is Is that implying that Khan has become a phylactery for the Lich?
There's some sense of that.
Oh man.
This turned south so fast.
Wow. Yeah, but from the magic jar spell to from what I understand, it's some mix between the magic jar spell, hold monster, or excuse me, dominate monster, and imprison. So he's physically inhabiting Khan's body, unless I'm misunderstanding.
Yes, that is exactly what's happening.
Okay. Then, assuming this is a conversation we had before all this came to pass, would Aldrik know if there's another way to kill a lich besides destroying the phylactery? Can we move the soul from the phylactery to a different sort of phylactery? And then in this instance, like move the lich from Khan into something else?
You could force another consciousness into it, I guess.
Go ahead, roll a religion check, Aldrik. All right. So, Aldrik, you have at one point seen that, at least in Waterdeep, essentially what was the equivalent of an exorcism. Several higher level clerics were able to dispel a lich who had taken over actually a paladin who had stumbled across some lich's secret phylactery hiding place, and destroyed the phylactery, but the lich was already regenerating at that time and regenerated in the nearest source, which happened to be that paladin. And so you did not witness, not really aid, but help set up the ritual that was needed to expel this lich.
Anyone down for a little exorcism?
The issue is, even if we exercise it, that would only mean it would enter someone else's body. We would have to have a ready container in which to capture it and then destroy.
You have the broken soul gem.
I do have the broken soul gem. That is an excellent point I totally forgot about. Okay. Is it safe to say that we had this entire conversation, all this knowledge before we went to the wagon and did the dispel just now?
I think we should just go ahead and say you did. And Aldrik, you are correct. For it to even have, since essentially you've got a 21 religion on this, it would essentially have to have come from a phylactery to begin with.
Is he correct in the sense that if we exercised it, it would return to its original phylactery, or if it would just seek out the nearest, most suitable one?
So a lich cannot go to any phylactery. It has to be their phylactery. It is true that a lich, once it's kind of regenerated itself, it needs its phylactery in order to do that. So if you destroy the phylactery and destroy the physical body it has, it is gone. But very powerful and smart liches will create more than one phylactery. And it always goes to the oldest phylactery it's made. Oh, it sounds very much like Harry Potter. That's kind of
They're Horcruxes.
yes, but
Okay.
this is actually, I guess, before that. But
Well, we are dealing with undead wizards of like insane power.
Okay. If Aldrik is visible now, I presume,
yeah,
Alvin will approach as close as possible and say, I am going to go talk to Nabelia. I will meet you back at the wagon. Then Alvin will leave.
okay, still invisible.
Yes.
Okay, so actually, Aldrich kind of goes with you because Nabelia's carriage is to the front of the caravan, and you guys were in the back. So, um, you guys go past the wagon. Kale's still driving. It looks as if Robin is has stopped tinkering for a bit and is staring forward, um, forward in the caravan. Um, Trym is on grog and is kind of like wandered off a bit into the swamp, but you can still see her and them. Um, and
How long has it been since Robin stopped tinkering?
what would you say, Robin? Somewhere around 5 minutes?
And she's been quiet ever since.
She has been quiet.
Kale gets suspicious and turns around. Is Robin doing anything suspicious? Other than staring into nowhere?
Robin, I would say that you are staring into nowhere and nothing else is happening. Does that sound about right? You're not staring into nowhere. She's staring forward in the caravan.
Kale looks back and forth between her and where she's looking at, back where she's looking at.
Roll an investigation. Okay. It looks like she's looking at the carriage, the Roldagost carriage. And as you are trying to look at her line of sight, you see the carriage slow, not quite stop. The door opens and Zelina comes pouring out of the carriage, has to catch herself on the side, and the door closes, and Zelina falls into the mud, and the carriage keeps going.
That hell's Roldagost carriage?
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yes.
Interesting. Does... Oh, I don't know if Alvin's even there at this point. Never mind.
Kale keeps driving the cart, but he'll hold his hand out to the whatever her name was, and motions her to come to the wagon driver seat area.
Yeah. Oh, as you approach, as you roll up, because it's
Yep.
essentially. Okay, so yeah, as you the carriage, as the wagon comes up alongside Zelina, who's kind of like standing, she's trying to get some of the mud out of her skirts. Do you stop the wagon, or you just pretty much slow and reach down?
Slow and reach down.
All right, go ahead, do a strength check.
Strength?
Yeah, you're trying to pull her up into the moving wagon. What?
Hold up, 1 sec. She
You're gonna drop her right back into the mud. I take that back.
All
You're the
right.
strongest man alive.
Okay. Yeah. So you reach down. She grabs your hand almost immediately. You pull her up alongside. Galdo grumbles because he has to move over a little bit for three to be beside each other, and she immediately leans on you and says, "Oh, did you see that? I was never so mistreated." And she's all,
Why did you
"Oh, they're crazy. They're just crazy.
You're crazy!
Why am I crazy?
Obviously they didn't want you, I think.
They invited me in." At
And then
this
you got
point-
kicked out?
And then at this point, Aldrik and Alvin, you have arrived at the cart. You saw Zelina kind of fall out of the Roldagast carriageway ahead. You don't know if it was thrown out or fallen now, but you saw Kale pull her up into your wagon. So all you can see as you approach the wagon is, she's got her red skirt kind of hanging over the side that's sturdy, and she's kind of leaning against Kale, saying, "Well, you're so strong. Thank
You
you."
look like a mess! Snaps his fingers, press, and
Um,
cleans up her dress. Look
She
at
looks
you!
at you. She looks at you. You can cast magic?
Yeah, who can't?
Oh,
It's the only reason, he points at Trym in the swamps, that lady keeps me around and feeds me.
oh. I hear most wizards are very close to being rich.
I was.
So
Third
yeah,
day of adventuring, and I bought myself a magic crossbow. And then some idiot stole it.
No, the idiot was the one who stole it.
Yup.
How much was the crossbow?
A lot. More money than I'd ever seen in my life.
Ask about Khan.
Kale would actually not think about that.
Damn it.
What were you doing in there? I mean, what could you have possibly done to get yourself thrown out of a carriage? Honestly.
They are crazy. They invited me in for tea and snacks, and then asked they asked all sorts of questions about you guys. And then when I wouldn't answer them, they kicked me out.
Kale looks at Robin in the backseat. Is she still in like a trance?
It looks like it.
Yeah, lady, who is they? Is it just the little kid or is it the older lady too?
Sorry. So she goes, "Little kid? No. It was the Lady Rollergast. She's no lady. A harpy. She's a harpy, I tell you. And then that old baggy old crumpled old lady.
Kale goes, hold up. Do we have anyone who fits that description?
Yep. Mrs. Newsor.
You guys want to bust in?
Alvin wouldn't, but I think Aldrik probably would. He's been kind of talking off to the side.
You want to thaumaturgy that door?
Maybe you guys should hold your horses.
What? I swear you said we should be horses.
Alvin is itching to go to the household gas wagon, but if Robin said that out loud, then he would wait a little bit longer.
I actually didn't catch. What did you say?
She said we need to hold our horses. And I'm assuming she's... Well, I don't know if Alvin sees it, so never mind. He'll just wait, maybe hoping Robin's going to say something.
Kale looks back at Robin, who's now probably out of the trance.
Well,
Yoo-hoo, middle realms to Robin. You still there?
I'm just gonna punch him in the back.
Selena says, "Is that your little sister?"
Nope.
Oh, cousin?
Nope.
Oh, just another employee?
Nope. She's the pest that God decided I had to take care of.
Oh,
I think that you're thinking about the other way around.
but
Huh?
but not a girlfriend then.
No.
Oh,
No. Right?
good. She's not a very good dresser. She says that in a very loud stage whisper.
Woo! Oh! Kale casts Presto on Robin's clothes to make it chilly. Apply cold water on burned area.
Okay, if they're playing around, Alvin's just going to move to the road gas wagon. He tried to
Hey,
wait.
wait.
Too late. Alvin's gone.
Nope. Come back here.
He's invisible. you
He's
don't know.
invisible! Yeah, you don't know that.
He waited when you said to wait, and now you guys started playing, so he left.
Okay.
Not his
so-
fault, you know.
All right. So, let's see. Alvin, so you head up to the wagon,
Yes.
the carriage. Okay. So, as you head up, you come alongside. Like I said, it takes a little bit of jog, but you've got great movement. You see that the carriage is open. Not the carriage, the window to the carriage on the side is open. It's letting some of the breeze in. There's light curtains that are kind of in front of it, but you can kind of look beyond. You can see the silhouette of two people inside. One of them you think is Nabilia in the forward-facing seat, and then another female, small in stature, in the backwards-facing seat.
Okay. How long? Does Alvin have a rough idea how long it'll be until its invisibility wears out?
Okay, let's see.
I know we waited like half an hour before doing the dispel magic thing, and then we came back and listened to that brief exchange, and now he's moving on.
Right,
So
which is probably about another 5 or so minutes. So yeah, you probably have about 25 minutes.
okay. Alvin can Alvin get close enough to the open window to overhear, or is that near any guards?
Well, there's definitely a driver and there's definitely a guard on the back of the wagon, but you're invisible. The path is, as I mentioned, a little muddy, but there's a lot of noise going on, horses and carriages and wagons. So even if, probably the only way I would say you would be spotted is if the driver or the or the guard is looking straight down next to the wagon and sees your footprints appear.
Okay. So then I would like to approach to the open window to try and hear what they're talking about.
Okay. So you approach the open window. You hear the sounds of it sounds like actually tea being poured, and then it's quiet for a bit. I don't know how long you would want to wait, but
You said 25 minutes, then at least 15 minutes.
okay. So as you are walking beside during the 15 minutes, you hear the tea being poured. You hear kind of like soft voices. Nabelia is talking first. She says, "I don't see a solution. I really don't see a solution, and I'm still unclear how this whole thing happened." And then the other voice says, "Things," says, and you can tell it's an older voice of a female who says, "We'll fix it. I can't guarantee that we can fix it, but we should be able to. But you must be careful. There's a lot of people in this caravan not to trust." And at that point, the window to the carriage slides shut.
Kale turns around to Robin. Is there anything you'd like to tell us?
I
Hey,
don't
don't
know.
give me
I
that
know
look.
that. Well, I know that I probably know more about fashion than she does.
Kale hands the reins back to Galdo, jumps into the back seat, grabs Robin by the of her shirt, gives her a light slap across the face. Come on, this isn't a laughing matter right now. I really need to know if you've got
Oh,
something
really?
good to let me know.
Robin puts him in a headlock. Come on.
Zelina turns to Galdo and says, "Do they always act like this?"
A dexterity saving throw?
Yeah, so it would be a strength against either dex or strength.
So-
That would be a standard grapple.
We know how this turns out. You never succeed.
Oh, so do I roll anything or no?
So yeah,
You strength.
it's a contested, so you would roll strength. 'Cause,
Okay.
grapple is.
So, just straight strength? Or do I have to do
Yes.
Yup.
Okay, how do I
Yeah.
do that again? I forget. I'm a derp.
So on your sheet, just hit the strength. Then.
I only see the one for saving throw.
It's on the left. It's the actual strength stat.
Yeah.
You can click that.
There it is. Derp.
So Zelina says, "Oh, I'm very comfortable here. I'm talking well." Okay, so the way that ties go is if there's a tie, then the status quo is maintained. So actually, Robin, at this point, you would be unsuccessful at
Oh, come
trying
on.
to grapple him.
I told you, it won't work.
And
Kale holds her cuff again, and then, I mean it this time.
Rob's gonna do it again.
Zelina says, "Yeah, I can't go back. My sister and I are not talking at the moment."
We can do this all day, but honestly,
And Robin's just going to get more rowdy with him.
what is wrong with... I'll do another dexterity saving throw, but this is for the last time.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Oh god.
Okay, so Robin does manage to get a hold of you, and Zelina's watching you guys carefully, and finally she looks around. She says, "Hey, you told me there wasn't any room in the back of the wagon. I see lots of room."
There isn't now, is there?
Robin's gonna try and push the struggling over in her direction.
Okay, so you're just trying to shove Kale back to her.
Yeah, kind of like knock into her.
Okay. Oh boy. Let's see. So that would be a shove action.
Mm-hmm. But I'm still gonna be like grappling him, but I'm gonna like shoving him over in that direction.
Okay. Now, remember, you're not like
I know.
standing up or anything like that. You're just trying to shove him in that direction. Let's see. I am going to say. Go ahead and roll an attack roll.
Okay, how would I do that?
Just roll your regular with the dex modifier.
What do you mean regular?
D20
just
plus
a
dex.
D20 with your dex.
Okay, D20. Okay, and that would be alright. And so that would be
What's your dex modifier?
that's 3, so that would be 14.
Okay. Kale, what's your armor class?
Checking. That would hit, but I shield it.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you try to move Kale over, but are unsuccessful. Though with the limbs flying all over, Zelina does say, "Maybe I can find a space with one of the other wagons. I think the guard on the emissary to the giants is a very handsome man. Do you know if he's has a wife?"
Kale looks at Lena and says, "You really should make it more subtle. Come on." Before I assume that since the shove failed, the grapple is also broken.
Yeah, I would say that that you would be able to break the grapple at this moment.
All right, then I'll elbow Robin across the jaw.
Okay, so
I'd say that'd be an attack.
Yeah,
Get wrecked!
I'd let you do an attack.
Get wrecked!
Okay, so usually for an unarmed strike, it is 1 plus your strength modifier.
So that's 2.
Okay. So Zelina says, so perhaps someone could escort me?
Babies hit harder than you do, you wimp.
Emissary? And as you guys are fighting, she just kind of gives up and walks off. All right. Alvin, are you doing anything at this time?
All this time, I still don't know what to do.
Okay. Yeah. Galdo shouts at you, "If you guys are going to wrestle among all my food items, get out of the wagon."
When she's got, I'm just gonna stop.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you see her heading back. At least her dress is now not muddy anymore, thanks to Kale. And if you watch her, she does go over to the carriage for the emissary to the giants and is talking up at the at Wildy and then to the guard in the back. And the guard, Wildy stops the carriage and she gets up next to the guard in the back and starts talking to him.
Good lord. Well, at least she's gone finally.
Robin, do you see Aldrik's question?
Yes. So, While you guys were off doing your thing, I decided to take a break while I was doing my tinkering because it was really giving me a hard time. And I saw her go into that roller dice cart. And, well, I heard her coming here and she told you guys nothing but lies when she came in. I heard what she said when she went in there, and they weren't talking about us at all. Basically, that old lady, they told her to take a hike, like, cause she said she knows what she is, and as you can see, she got tossed out of the carriage, and apparently, Nabelia trusts the old lady.
Probably means as a skank or something.
But she also did say something about. She did say that Zelina is very dangerous, and she might have her husband take care of her.
Oh. Well, that's nice.
So, yeah.
Aldrik, during your times of detecting magic, you don't sense any trace of magic on these newcomers, these three. Because when I checked inside their cart, they had no weapons. Like, at all. And I've looked into their chests, their lock chests. I didn't check into their other lock chests, but no weapons. If that brother of theirs is a fighter, he's one hell of a fighter with his fists.
Do you see Aldrik's questions, Cindy?
I do. I have to actually
Okay.
check something.
Obviously, but it might make sense that after they've made their charm person and then get, laid for life. Or, sorry, set for life.
No, you have had one or more of them within your detect magic spell and not detected anything.
But no magics and no weapons. Polymorph?
I was thinking like how a dragon can become a human to interact with people. Is that a form of magic? Out
Yeah.
of character, of course. Alvin's nowhere
Yeah.
nearby.
Yeah, when I was looking it up, it said things like druid's wild shape would not be detected.
Oh, so transformation and that kind of thing isn't detected by that magic.
I'm feeling like the actual answer to the whole conundrum is actually super simple. We're just missing something and it doesn't add up. Like there's no motive for anything.
And Aldrik, you would detect it in process. At least that's what one of the answers when I was looking online was saying.
Oh, so they have to actively be using whatever the magic is for him to detect it?
For certain types of magic. Not so. Any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. So the bears is the part that they say is going to be open to interpretation. Like a tiefling would have come about through magical means, but not necessarily come up under detect magic.
Maybe I should have punched her. At any rate, Kale grabs a bottle of water, cools it down with Presto, and then holds it up to Robin. Here, for your jaw. Sorry about that.
No worries, no worries. I just wanted to get her out of here, and I figured that'd probably be a good way.
Right.
Okay, Alvin, have you decided what you are wanting to do?
Yeah, I think I have. I don't know if I'm gonna like it though. All right. Is there a way Alvin could be briefly out of sight of the wagon, so he can make
Yeah.
himself visible?
Definitely. Because, the wagon's still in motion. If you stop to the side of the road where there's a couple of bushes, you would be out of sight of that wagon and probably some additional ones.
Okay, I'm correct in thinking that if I make an attack, invisibility goes away, right?
Yes.
I hit the bush with my stuff.
You can just dispel it with will, I think.
Can I?
You can just
Yeah.
if you'd like.
Oh, okay. Well, Alvin doesn't know that, so he hits the bush anyways.
Okay. All right.
Make an
Alright,
attack
so yeah.
roll. Just kidding.
So you become visible.
When I become visible, I approach the householder gas wagon again.
Okay.
And-
The
Why can't you just do that inside the cart?
Because I'm not coming back to the cart yet.
Okay.
Of course he's...
Maybe never if this goes badly.
I know, right? It was nice knowing you.
so the guard actually sees you come out of the bushes, and looks at you, and says, "Well, at least you don't have that one of those blonde floozies with you."
Floozy. Alvin's not familiar with the word.
I'm not sure he is either, but okay.
But Alvin gets the gist of it. I'm not too sure what to think of them, to be honest. And to that end, I would like to speak with Lady Nobelia if she's feeling any better.
So he knocks on the roof of the carriage, and you can kind of hear wood sliding over. And he whispers down, and the carriage comes to a stop, and the carriage door opens. The guard jumps down and waits for you to approach.
Okay, Alvin approaches.
All right. As you come up to the edge of the carriage, you do see Nobelia in there, just as you expected. She's in the forward-facing seat. An elderly woman is in the rear-facing seat. She's looking at you cautiously, as is Nobelia. But Nobelia slides over on her seat further away and says, "Mr. Porkin, I was not expecting you this morning. Would you like some tea?"
No, not at the moment. Thank you, though. I
No.
out of character. Alvin never met the older lady, right? That was just Robin
No.
who met her.
No.
Okay, then Alvin will incline his head to her and says, "I don't believe we've met. I am Porking Club, a guard of Galdo's wagon."
Um, th- so she looks at you. She definitely is an older woman, small in stature, um, lot of wrinkles, silver hair, uh, um, a lot of laugh lines, kind of pale, and um, she she smiles, kind of like a very like she's got a secret, and then she says, "It is very nice to meet you, Mr. Club. I've heard a few things about you. I'm Carmen Nuther, a dear friend of the House Roldegost."
Oh. Alvin arches a brow at that and looks at Nebulia.
And then she does correct herself, of some of the House Roldegost. Nebulia at this time says to the woman, "There's got to be some people we can trust. And I trust him."
Alvin doesn't say anything, but just kind of arches his brow, looking surprised, and then looks back at the old woman.
She shrugs. Says, "You seem to have a trustworthy demeanor, but that doesn't mean anything. There are many things that are not quite as they seem."
The old woman said that?
Yes.
Okay. Alvin will face her directly and say, "If there's any trouble, I would like to help where I could. Especially if it's concerning Khan or Lady Nebulia."
So as you say that, the woman kind of does not look completely happy. Actually, go ahead, roll an insight check.
Insight. Yeah, boy.
Okay. It doesn't look completely happy. It actually looks like she feels a little guilty about something, but also doesn't seem like she has any intent on harming Nebulia. It's a little hard because Khan's not here to determine what she feels about Khan, but
But she doesn't seem to have like any actively hostile intention towards Nebulia.
no.
Interesting. Okay. Does she respond to what Alvin said?
Sorry, what did you say, Ken?
Essentially, what it amounts to is Alvin would like to help in any
Oh,
way,
yeah,
especially if it
yeah.
concerns Nebulia and Khan.
Yeah. No, she doesn't respond to that. Nebulia does say, "Are you sure you wouldn't like some tea?" And she sets down the book she had in her lap.
Alvin looks at the tea. Does anything stand out as unusual about it at all?
Go ahead, roll perception.
Where were these rolls Thursday?
So, looking at the tea, it's actually a very elegant set, and the tea itself is a lighter color than you've seen Galdo serving. The smell is very fragrant, has a little bit of a floral smell to it. The book that Nebulia set aside is a book about essentially the undead and exorcisms.
Oh, okay. I think Aldrik might have hit the nail on the head there earlier. Interesting. Okay. Then Alvin will incline his head and say, "Well, if you insist, then yes, I would like a cup, a glass. I'm not sure what the word would be. Cup, I guess."
And she says, "Well, come on in, Mr. Porkin, so our carriage doesn't fall too far behind." About this point, I would say the Galdo's wagon is just starting to pass the Roldegost wagon that has been standing still.
Okay. Alvin will take a seat next to Nebulia.
Okay.
Kale waves in the signature Alvin style.
Yeah, Aldrik, you would see Alvin climbing inside because you guys have been kind of watching as soon as Alvin appeared and the Roldegost wagon stopped. So the guard closes the carriage door, and Alvin, as it closes, you can see that there are a couple of lanterns that are in the roof of the carriage that don't seem to be lit by flame, but some sort of light spell or something like that. And you can feel that the guard climb back up onto the back of the carriage, and it starts off in motion. It's a very smooth motion. It is distinctively different than when Galdo's wagon surges forward, and you can tell also that it's a very well sprung carriage. It doesn't seem to be hitting all the bumps in the road or anything like that. And Nebulia hands you the tea.
Alvin takes a polite sip.
Okay. And then she hands you a couple of cookies.
Oh, well, thank you. He doesn't really eat the cookies, but he does sip the tea.
Okay. So across from you, Mrs. Newser is staring at you, and she says, "Usually I ask permission, but I'm not going to." And you can feel her try to read your thoughts.
Oh. Okay. Well, Alvin's absolutely going to resist that. If she just straight up does it, then he's going to resist.
Okay. Yes, she did tell you that she was not asking permission as she did that. And so you can feel essentially that she had looked kind of surface-wise, and then she had tried to probe a little deeper, so you can make a wisdom saving throw. Okay. And so she would be able to see your emotional state and something that's looming large in your mind, something that you are either worried over, loves, or hates.
Okay. My current emotion, like as in her invading my mind.
No, it would be essentially what. Yeah.
Okay, then it's going to be concern, and suspicion primarily, mostly at Miss Newsor. A little bit at Nebulia because he still can't get a feel for where exactly she's settling with Khan. And the biggest present concern would be that his friend is possessed by what he believes to be a lich, and he thinks Miss Newsor it could be part of that.
Okay. And then you feel that She kind of delved into a bit of that and the emotion, and then let go. It actually is a combination, supposedly, once she reads it.
Alvin's going to stand up, very, very upset. What do you think you're doing?
So Nabelia's looking confused. And Mrs. Newsar says, "Now, young pup, I apologize, but these are dangerous times. And there are dangerous people. And there are dangerous things out there.
Such as you.
No, I am not dangerous except to those who are evil."
Oh, and I'm evil? Is that why you decided to traipse into my mind?
Did I hurt you?
You could have.
No, I couldn't have.
Please, I know better than anyone that secrets can do much more harm than anything else.
Do you? Well, then I would say you're not as young as you look. But I apologize. I don't expect you to understand.
Alvin frowns at her, then looks at Lady Nabelia. Are you sure that she's someone you should be associating with? Someone who just violently intrudes upon your mind without warning?
So Nabelia looks over at her and then looks over at you. And then she says, "Well, I do apologize as well. I did not think that she would be doing that. I had told her that I trusted you." And then the old woman says, "Is it an evil thing to read people's minds?"
Not inherently, no. But I don't know your intent or your alliance, so it could be used to evil ends.
It could be, but I already know I'm not the only one who does that.
Alvin frowns at her, but doesn't say anything.
And yeah, she frowns back, but she actually doesn't look that upset. She actually looks very satisfied. And then she looks over at Nabelia and says, "I think you are correct, though. I think he does. That he is trustworthy. I think you should tell him."
Tell me what? Alvin looks at Nabelia.
She says, "Well, I did already tell you somewhat that I didn't think it Khan was the same."
Yes, I actually came to speak with you on that very matter. Primarily under the concern that my friends, Alvin looks at Lady Newsor, have seen her and her husband around your carriage late at night. We were concerned that they may be involved.
Newsor says, "Oh yes, your concerns are correct. We are involved, inadvertently. I don't suppose you came by our booth at High Market."
Oh, you were at High Market?
"Yes, we have a small booth. We don't like to sell at the dark market. We actually like to buy at the dark market. But we do sell some magic items that we obtain in Waterdeep. But I had also obtained some things during the dark market, and we had them well controlled for most of this trip. But someone snuck into our carriage and opened a chest that they shouldn't have, and released something that they shouldn't have. I am just trying to get it back."
Alvin looks at Nabelia. Do you know what it is that was stolen?
Nabelia says, "Well, it wasn't stolen. It was. It wasn't supposed to be out, though. And she looks distinctly at Mrs. Newser. And Carmen says, "You already know that we take them back."
I'm sorry, you cut out for me, Cindy. Can you say again? I'm not catching anything you're saying.
Now can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
All right. So Mrs. Newser looks across at Nabilia and says, "You already know that we take them back for destruction to Waterdeep. This one obviously didn't make it." Nabilia says, "As I understand it, the Newsers had purchased a few phylacteries from High Market, and we're storing them and transporting them because they need to be destroyed in a certain fashion to make sure that the evils that are either within them or can return to them cannot do so." And so Mrs. Newser says, "Yes, and this one we had magically contained. It was all fine for throughout this journey. And then one night, someone got past all our safeguards and released it.
Do you
tried
know
to get it back? I was unsuccessful."
Can you give me a more specific date? How long ago was this?
It was about 2 days ago.
Interesting. Okay, thank you. I feel it would be important at this point to mention that my friends and I had already come to a similar conclusion, that a lich had possessed Khan. We were seeking to perhaps free him discreetly, but I'm not sure how successful we were.
Yes, I am worried about the young lord because liches, they've grabbed hold for, especially the powerful ones, for more than 24 hours. It is very difficult to displace them, and sometimes when they are displaced, what is left is not worth saving.
Is there a way to save him?
I cannot do it, but there might be others who can.
Such as?
Nabilia right now is kind of like covering her face, and she says, "You didn't tell me this part." So Mrs. Newser says, "We've worked with various temples. A god or goddess who is good will sometimes have rituals that they can perform. It's like bringing back or breathing life back into the dead. Sometimes they can expunge the evil out of someone."
You believe that's the best solution for Khan, then?
I do not know if we are too late as it is.
My friend, thinking that perhaps it was a more common type of possession, attempted to dispel it. Would that cause any trouble or alert the lich beyond what it already is?
No, it shouldn't be a problem. But they're very difficult to dispel. Is he a high-level magic user?
I'm afraid that's not my secret to give.
Hmm. Well, I have to admit my husband did try to dispel the magic himself, but he said he was unsuccessful.
Is he able to cast magic through Khan's body?
The Lich should be able to.
And I assume he is unaware of what you're trying to do, or is he simply abiding it for now?
Oh, I don't think we are secret from him.
From what I've come to understand, liches are extremely powerful beings. Why is it that he hasn't removed you or us already?
He might, well, first of all, when they do transmit into a new body, it does take time to come to full power.
How much time?
Oh, it depends on the Lich. Since the phylactery was very, very close to him, it shouldn't be that long. I am actually hoping, though my husband thinks it's silly because he doesn't think it would work, I am actually hoping that the dispel, when he attempted to dispel the magic, that weakened him.
Oh, then my friend's attempt to dispel could have weakened him further then.
It is possible.
If he's in a weakened state, what could we do?
Well, the easy way out would be to kill him. But it's
Absolutely not.
Yes. It might come down to it.
It won't. Out of character, how far are we from Waterdeep? Like time-wise, days?
Okay, so you're approximately at this point about a day and a half from Daggerford, which is probably about 4 or 5 days from Waterdeep.
So we're a week from any of
You're
these
about a
major
week.
temples.
Yes.
Okay. Lady Newsor, would you be open to talking with my friends about possible courses of action? Assuming that's okay with you, Lady Nobilia.
Oh, yes. Yes. Anything that would help Khan.
Rather
But-
than working separately, I think it would be best if we all tried to work together to take care of this.
And Mrs. Nuzar says, first of all, Aldrik is correct. Daggerford has a temple.
Alvin has no idea.
But Mrs. Nuzar says, yes, I'd be willing to meet with them, but I don't want to raise any suspicion. My husband and I have been traveling as just an elderly couple, and it is best that we keep that way.
And how would you propose then?
Perhaps we could meet for a dinner. Perhaps we will have our wagon be at your campsite tonight.
I think that would be great. Though that does remind me, I saw Zelina, one of the women who joined us recently, thrown out of your carriage. Did she do something to upset you?
Oh, just who she is. And the Billy says, I must admit I'm still confused who she is.
Who she is? What does that mean?
So she says, do not trust that one.
Zelina, why?
Yes, she is not as she appears. They're very beautiful on the outside, but what do you call them? We have They have existed for years. They often take the shape of others.
Take the shape?
Yes.
What do you mean exactly? Could you elaborate?
Oh, yes. Have you ever encountered shapeshifters?
I don't believe so, not to my knowledge.
Well, you have now.
Oh,
Please don't bring her back to this carriage again.
are shapeshifters inherently dangerous?
Only if they want something from you.
Is it just Zelina, or could it be her sister and brother as well?
I have not met her sister and brother.
They are very similar in mannerisms and speak.
It is possible that you have more than one.
Is this something we should make known? Are they a danger to the caravan? Or is it okay to leave them be for now?
It depends on what their goal is. I have not read their minds.
I see.
Well, I did read her mind to know enough of what she wanted. She does want power. I do believe, if given a chance, she would have taken Nibelia's form here.
Alvin looks extremely alarmed at that. What would she do with Nabilia in that case?
Well, usually they do kill off who they want to imitate, but not always.
I see.
Sometimes they just cause trouble. You would know, though, from the item that Lady Nabilia has given you.
Alvin looks at Nabilia. Okay. Then I will be sure to keep a very careful eye on them, and I will alert my friends as well. We will be sure to watch their movements.
Nabilia reaches out and says, "Thank you."
For now, then, it's safe to have Khan, and as he is, with in the same wagon as Lady Nabilia.
It is not safe to have him anywhere the way he is.
I must admit, I'm at a little bit of a loss of what to do then. How are we simply at the whims of his decisions, his thoughts, and if he decides to do something, we simply can't do anything about it until it happens? Or is there no way to prevent it, to preempt it at all?
So she says, "I will be keeping an eye on Lady Nabilia. She already has one form of protection on her. Do not worry."
Alvin looks over Nabilia, looking for, quote-unquote, some form of protection.
Mm-hmm. As far as you can tell, there's nothing.
Okay, and then he chalks up to, quote-unquote, magic. Okay, very well. Then I suppose I'll wait for tonight, and we can see what we can do then.
It was very nice meeting you, Mr. Porky Club.
It was nice to get to know you. I have to say our meeting wasn't the best.
And she smiles at you.
Alvin offers her a polite smile.
Yeah, and she knocks on the roof of the carriage. It rolls to a stop, and the door opens. She actually hops out before you and heads back as the caravan, back towards the back of the caravan.
Okay, Alvin will look at Lady Nabilia and say, please be safe, and if you need me, you know where to find me.
And she says, "I do. Thank you."
Alvin will incline his head politely and leave, back for Galdo's wagon.
Okay. All right.
Yes, and briefly. I believe we should discuss it in private when we have a moment, Aldrik. If possible, you'll gather everyone in the back of the wagon and essentially go over everything that was just discussed.
All right. So Alvin tells you guys what he found out and what was discussed.
In particular, of note that Zelina and possibly her siblings are not what they appear to be, and should be considered extremely dangerous.
That's what I told you guys.
What? When?
Before, well, you ran off before I could tell you.
You were wrestling with Kale! Again!
So that she wouldn't suspect anything.
Oh. Well, that's very clever, Robin.
Totally what we were trying to do.
You two are very clever. I apologize.
Yeah, I will just shout out right in front of her that, yay, we suspect you. No.
Yes, she says they are shapeshifters of some sort. Possibly dangerous. They may not be, though. In any matter, certainly not going to be introducing them to Lady Cambilia any further.
So,
Now what?
what did you hear all? What's up with that lady?
Are caravans always as exciting? Alvin and Aldrik. You did this for years? It's so stressful.
Yeah, when you ask that, Galdo's all, no, nothing like this.
Oh. Well, I believe we should bide our time until we speak with the news wars tonight. And for now, just keep an eye out, especially for those 3 siblings.
And the Lich?
There's nothing we can do at the moment, but certainly keep an eye out for Khan if you see him.
Could we do something about Khan?
Nothing good.
And if he and the Lich inside him decides to suddenly cast, oh, I don't know, Meteor Storm on everyone?
Lady Noozer told me that it'll take a while before he gains that kind of power.
Okay.
Kale, go ahead, roll an Arcana. Okay, I was going to say with advantage because you have a similar situation going on inside you. Okay, so Kale, it is true. You know from at least if it's anything like Lex, quote unquote, taking over your body, which Lex is not doing. So he's a benevolent possession, so to speak.
So he
That it's
says.
taken a while to accumulate strength and teach you new things. So your hope is that this situation would be somewhat similar.
So, great idea here. If we somehow force the Lich out of Khan and into a soul gem, say, and then we smash soul gem, he should die.
Hypothetically, but I believe you'd be best off asking the news horse tonight. They seem to know a great deal about this matter.
Now we're gonna be asking them?
Well, I was thinking of sending Lex in there. Or Lex can send himself.
Let's not do anything until we converse
Yes.
tonight.
It's
All
an
right.
option, just throwing it out there.
So yeah, you guys, the afternoon is pretty quiet. The caravan moves swiftly through the kind of fields and the mud that's along the way, and stops at the way in, which is more than an inn. It's like a fortification that's on its way to Daggerford. Oh, I don't know if I have a map for it, so let's see what I've got.
I know I was itching for combat, but like, can we not go up against the Lich, please?
I'm loving all this, to be honest with you. This is awesome. I love this kind of thing.
Yeah, I love the intrigue. I just don't like the idea of going up against a level 18 Lich. That's all I'll say.
No, he's like a level 9 Lich. How old is Khan? Like 9? 8?
By age.
No,
Yeah,
it's like
he gets 1 level stronger every year.
if the guy could cast Immortality and dominate monster and magic jar, he's at least level 15 or 14.
Nah. He's fine.
It's fine, right? It doesn't matter what level you are. You get hit by a fireball, you die.
That's right. Everyone dies if they get hit hard enough with a stick.
Even a fucking Tarask.
I don't know what that is, but sure.
Okay, so yeah, you guys, the caravan pulls into a village on the way to Daggerford. It is a fortified village, I guess that's the way to describe it. There are several houses and one gigantic inn. You can tell that this place is in some ways looks newer, almost like you can see there's some foundation underneath of older stone, but it's only maybe about 1 or 2 layers thick, and then everything else is new on top of it. Almost like this entire place was razed to the ground and then rebuilt at some point.
Are we stopping here for the night?
Yes, it is evening. Many of the
So, which way are we
villages.
approaching it from?
So you're approaching from the south?
Is there another hostage situation, like in the last inn?
A group
Don't
of
have
nobles
much.
who are actually high-level assassins.
No, you've brought enough monsters with you on this trip.
What
Oh, that's a
about,
good point. I didn't think
what
about
about Lizard Wizard?
that. She's in the backpack.
So a majority of the caravan actually does rent rooms at the inn itself. It is a large inn. Let's see. Oh yeah, I saw the really big high def map of Daggerford, which you guys will be in at some point. So this place has multiple guest rooms. It is true that a lot of the people in carriages take some of the premier ones, but there are several. The main tavern itself has several tables and seems to be warm and cozy. And Galdo's rolling his eyes at Robin as he takes the horses towards the barn.
It wasn't before?
Nope.
You'd think with how hard you hit, seriously, a baby could get hit harder than you.
I'm not a monk. I could have grabbed a frying pan and smacked you over the head with it, but I didn't want to kill you on accident.
So yeah, the inn itself has two large, long counters that have people seated at it. It's got a several tables in the common room, and it also has some private rooms off to the side where people can dine. The Noosers actually have taken or reserved one of the private rooms. And
convenient.
you see Mr. Nooser go into the private room. It's just off the entrance as you come in. He kind of gives you a look and then ducks inside.
Okay. Alvin will look at Kale and Robin and whatever they're doing, and then he'll look at Aldrik and Trym and kind of like nod his head towards the door. Then Alvin will head in first.
Wait, are you guys getting food inside?
We're going to the private room that the Newsworths have.
Woo! Kale
so
will go in. Kale will go into the restaurant and order a large meat roast. No matter how much that costs him.
What type of meat? The innkeeper says.
Are cows a thing?
Cows are definitely a thing.
Aren't
Then
you a farmer?
Just beef.
Yeah, he was a farmer, but vegetables.
Hey, for all I know, there's no such thing as cows. There's just like weird six-legged centaur-like cows.
A centaur
Magic
is a
can do
horse.
weird things. And we eat horses here, so, you know, nothing's out of the question.
Yeah. So the innkeep says, "Yeah, I can get you a meal. It'll be 8 silver. Where do you want it delivered?"
I'll just wait at the bar. And then I'll bring my meat roast to wherever the rest of the group is hanging.
Okay. So Aldrik and Alvin have gone into the private room. Robin, are you going in as well? Staying with the wagon?
I think
Yeah,
I'm gonna look
Order
around
another meat
town.
roast with me? No? Okay, I'll eat alone.
I'm gonna look around town.
It is really a town, a big inn with
So it's more like a thorp.
some houses. And seems to have several guards. And Alvin and Aldrik, as you go into the room, you see that only the elderly one of the pair is there. And he does say to you, "My wife is settling Nebelia into her room and casting protective spells."
Alvin nods. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Do you know who the young lord is?
He is currently still with the emissary to the giants.
I take it that our plan didn't really work out. Alvin gives a sidelong look at Aldrik.
Also, just so you know, at the table there's all sorts of food. It's laden with food and plates, and elderly Nuzar says, "Please help yourself to anything."
Alvin grabs some fruits.
So, if I don't see anything interesting, I'll just go back and hang out with everybody.
Okay. Yeah, there's not any store per se. there is a kind of like a little, calling it a temple would not be really accurate, and several homes. There's a barn, and it looks like a place for a lot of the guard, and there does seem to be quite a few guards.
Can I do
roaming
like a
around.
perception to just look around the area, you know?
Yeah. Are
Okay.
you looking for something in particular?
Well, we're on the lookout for all sorts of things, so might as well just be on the lookout for, like, a lot of activity or just something unusual, you know?
Okay. I would actually say that's more investigation. But because you're kind of just looking around and you don't see anything unusual.
Well, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So the Mr. Newsar sits down. He isn't really eating. He does have a mug of ale, and says, "So my wife said you might have some questions."
If we send a mind into this kid's mind, which is already possessed with another mind, is 3 minds too many minds?
I have not tried it.
Neither have I. I'm just saying. It's like, could we? I have some understanding of the way magic jar works, that I can force another person off of. I can force another person's soul off of their body, and then put that soul into a container. If we could somehow put the lich in that container, then if we destroy the container and the phylactery, could we solve this problem?
He says, if I am to understand you, you're talking about you have an extra mind roaming around that you are hoping if we place it in Khan's current state that it will displace the lich.
Yup. Pretty much.
What if we displace the lich and it lands in your mind? Would it force out your current?
And I'm gonna
Second
try.
mind?
I'm gonna try sneaking up on Kale as I'm coming back in. And I hear him talking about this. Did I do that?
For the
I
record,
wouldn't.
Alvin's gonna be hyper aware of anyone coming in and out of the room.
I know, but I'm still gonna do it anyways.
Okay, he's gonna call
I'm
out
a
to Robin
dork.
as soon as she comes in.
Kale takes a sip of some of his milk and says, "Well, I'm not sure, but I've had," and he taps his temple, "this guy up here for a while now. I'm hoping I can resist it long enough for my original friend to come back, and hopefully we can push the lich around until he's inside the soul gem." Again, I'm not sure if this is going to work. If this is just theory, he says he doesn't know. I don't know. I was hoping you might know because you deal with this sort of thing.
I deal with magic, but mostly from a spell book.
Well,
And he says he deals with magic, usually the dangerous and not yet tested kinds.
Yes, I'm not one for experimenting.
Do you have an alternative, perhaps? We're open to suggestions, you know. If it's something we can help to do, we'd probably do it.
Might help if we get a basic idea of who everyone is first. If you'd like to introduce yourself, Kel.
I figured he already knew. Cause
Have you met him before?
I have
Don't-
not officially.
Then be polite, Kel, and introduce yourself.
Sup? Yeah, it's Kale, and I'm just a normal kid with a magic user stuck in my head. trying to get him out, but not really.
Are you the person who got shot with that poison arrow at the beginning of the trip?
Yeah, that would be me. Also got sold by hobgoblins, 2 hobgoblins, and yeah, this has pretty much been the most unlucky thing to have ever happened to me.
You know, if you're a little bit more discreet about who you are and what you can do, those things might not happen to you.
I'm still alive.
Thanks to us.
Sure.
I am Porkin Club, a guard of Galdo's Cabin. Or wagon, excuse me. I spoke with your wife earlier.
Yes, she did mention you.
And this, Alvin gestures towards Aldrik to let him introduce himself.
So, yeah, as he's kind of going or responding to the introductions, he's kind of looking you guys over carefully, and he says, "Yes, I am aware, Mr. Ironbeard, that you have some proficiency with magic. It does make me wonder, as my wife told me that she looked into Mr. Porkin's mind a little bit and thought that he had the mind of a fighter, but at peace."
Alvin looks mildly surprised by that.
That's just because he's, cool and chill and everything.
And yeah, he says, "Well, I will say that overall we are very concerned. This was not supposed to happen. We have had once, about a dozen years ago, where we had a lich that escaped from a phylactery. The containment spell was not cast properly. It took over one of our apprentices. That's why we don't have any more. Not because we lose them. It's actually the apprentice who cast the spell incorrectly.
How did you resolve that matter?
We had to kill him."
Oh, that's... Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not an acceptable method.
It is understood, though sometimes there are different levels, each less acceptable than the last. In our last case, our apprentice actually did want to host the lich, did want to gain power.
I assure you, Khan isn't the type to actively seek out a lich.
Really? Actually believe that 100%?
Out of character, you may be right, now that I think about it. I doubt he has the wherewithal or the knowledge to cast that spell, though. Regardless.
No, but free power is free power,
Well, I don't think Khan would be interested in power. I think he'd be like, oh my god, cool, a lich. Like an
Yeah.
ADD dog.
True that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's old enough to understand the ramifications of that.
Oh, no ramifications. He just thought like, oh my god, so much power.
Alvin nods alongside with what Aldrik said.
I mean, it's not like he would out, I know, but...
At this point, it's largely irrelevant either way. What we need is the solution.
So Mr. Muser says, "I will say that the first thing that I checked for was to see whether or not this lich was evil or good. There are good liches, There are good liches. Hold on one second.
Yeah, like the red wizard leader.
I thought he was bad. I guess I just assumed he was bad.
He's neutral. I mean, it's not like he'd go and actively kill people without reason.
That's like honestly blowing my mind because in any game or book I've ever read about liches, there have never been any instance of a good one. That's interesting to consider, though.
Cheat lives in order to become a lich. So I would assume that they're the same person after as they were before. It's just that, you know, it would be kind of like Lex right now, but
I was thinking the same thing. I guess that's kind of what Lex is in a way.
where Lex would probably use less the darker necromancy magics, you know.
Interesting. Okay.
If
Sorry
anything,
about
Lex
that.
has created the perfect lich.
Interesting. Welcome back, Cindy.
So, yeah, sorry about that. So, he says, yes, the first thing I was attempting to discover is whether or not this was a good lich or an evil one.
It's evil, right?
I am completely sure it is an evil lich. The second thing I attempted was to see how powerful it was. This is a little bit more difficult to determine because a lich's power grows in a new form slowly. And some liches are able to hide themselves and their power a bit. Similar with, I don't blame them, similar to how my wife and I are very cautious about who knows how much power we might have. I did attempt to read Khan's mind while he was asleep, because that is the only way to do it when the lich might not be aware. But was not very successful in my attempt.
Kale looks at Robin.
Alvin also looks at Robin.
Huh?
She just looks up with a mouthful of food. What?
That was the perfect response. But, you want to tell old man here what you saw inside his mind?
Oh yeah, well, nothing different than all of you guys. All I knew is I just knew it was something old and rotten. That's all I know. And it seemed like Khan was being suppressed. So I don't think you did it willingly. Otherwise, why would he be suppressed?
If he's suppressed, then there's a good chance if I do decide to send Lex in, or Lex decides to send himself in, that we could just grab the surface, or the lich only, and hopefully the act of suppression keeps Khan inside Khan. I mean, unless you guys, it's not like dispelling should work. I know it sounds like a really bad idea.
There's too many unknowns in it, unfortunately. There's too many circumstances beyond our control.
It's better than
so many
something not
things can go
working.
wrong. It could not work is the issue, and who knows what kind of damage it would do to you or Khan.
So, Mr. Muser says, so you are saying you have another entity inside you?
Kale looks at Alvin and Aldrik like, should I tell him?
You already did.
I mean, yeah, but like, how much should I tell him?
Can I have an insight check, Lord? Well, not Lord, I guess,
Yeah.
Mr. Newsor, to see
Yes.
what his intent behind the question is?
Yes. Yeah. It looks to be just frank curiosity.
He just seems curious, Kale. And if it'll help Con, I think it's for the best.
Well, it's more accidental than anything else. It was a few months back where I stumbled upon a cave, and the cave had a gem, and apparently the gem was where my friend here had thrown himself away. The initial plan was to throw himself inside the gem, and then he could live inside his girlfriend. Didn't work. So now he was stuck in the gem and couldn't get out. But somehow when I touched the gem, he got out and came into me. And now we're stuck together, and I can do what he does, more or less. But yes. I haven't actually tried getting him out to possess people, though. He hasn't tried it either.
Yes, I do have a couple of questions. So, the person inside your head was trying to put his essence inside his girlfriend's body?
Something like that.
And for what reason?
Duh, immortality.
Because his girlfriend was immortal?
No, but if you could transfer completely, properly, with the host dies, the body of the host dies, and it's not going to be relevant because the soul has been detached, basically. Well, how he says it is, you know how the body and the soul is supposed to be tethered? He broke the tether, which means the soul is now independent of the body. It doesn't matter which body he hosts, he just exists.
So he was planning on hopping around different minds for immortality?
I guess. Did you? He said yes.
And these minds, are they more him or you?
I'm the first mind he actually contacted, so.
It seems like a poor decision. It doesn't seem like he controls you. How
He
is
could.
that immortal?
He could control me. We just agreed to not
He
to.
could. Alvin looks surprised. That's the first I've heard of that.
We tried it once. It didn't. We didn't like it. So.
And he has, you said he has not left your body for another body?
Not yet.
And he can?
Don't know.
Who is this person?
He says his name is Lex. Was kicked out of the academy about 100 years ago. You wouldn't know him.
You would be surprised who I would know.
Forgiving, Mr.
Oh.
Mysore, but how does this relate to Con?
I am trying to figure out if this entity can even transfer out into Khan. I don't think he can displace a lich.
There's too much that could go wrong, Kale. I'd really rather you not risk your life for this.
Hey, it won't be me risking my life.
Kale, we have no idea what kind of damage it would do to your mind.
As
As if my mind wasn't damaged enough.
That's what I was just about to say. There isn't much up there to damage, so.
Alvin looks at
Look.
Aldrik.
If it comes down to it, right, you can't kill Khan. But I don't mind, well, if what Aldrik says, well, dying and then being revived.
I'd rather not have any of my friends die if it's all the same to you.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, it's better you do it to somebody who gave you consent than you do it to somebody who couldn't.
The point is, Kale, is that it could cause damage to Khan too. Even if it doesn't kill you, it could do irreparable damage to his mind or yours. He may
His
not be
mind is
dead.
already irreparably damaged.
No, it's not. He's being suppressed.
And what do you think will happen when his body becomes unsuppressed due to
We
whatever
don't
method
know.
we use?
We don't know, which is the exact reason why we're not going to do the same thing to you.
So Mr. Nuzar says, tell me, are you naturally able to wield magic?
Nope.
Ah. And you said you touched a gem. Do you still have that gem?
Yep. Well, not me, but he looks at Parkin.
Yes, I still have it.
May I see?
I think it turned his letter too. It's weird.
Alvin hesitates.
Just give the damn gem.
It's not mine to give, Kale. It's for Lady Steelshine.
He's borrowing. Technically, Lady Steelshine ain't anymore anyway. I've already used up whatever inside.
That's not what she asked. She just asked for the gem. My masters gave me this task, Kale. I can't just give this over to anybody.
I gave it to you first. It is mine.
Right. Unfortunately, I would have taken it from you if necessary.
Oh, is that how it is?
Kale, my masters gave me a very specific mission.
Yes,
not-
they made you retrieve a gem with a soul inside. Now there's a gem with a soul inside.
Listen, that's not the point, okay? But if you need to see it and it'll help Khan, then I'll show it to him. Alvin looks at Mr. Newar, or I think I keep mispronouncing his name, Newser,
Yeah,
and says,
kind of like loser, but
with an N, I see. If it's all the same to you, I would rather hold on to it, but I can show it to you. Is that acceptable?
that is acceptable.
Okay. Alvin will... Does he have his pack with him?
I would assume so, but
Okay, then Alvin will reach into his pack and pull it from where he hides it.
all right. So he looks at it. He does not touch it. He kind of sorry. He kind of mutters a few words and makes a motion. Aldrik, you recognize it as essentially detecting magic. And then he says to you, there's some, but not much residual magic in this.
I knew it.
But I see the crack in what should have been a flawless stone to begin with. And he kind of looks over at Kale and says, I do believe you would develop a similar flaw.
He would crack, literally.
It would be like cracking, but his mind.
Then definitely not Kale. And Alvin looks at Aldrik. It's ultimately up to you, but I believe him to have Khan and Amelia's best interest at heart. And in that case, we should trust them. Alvin laughs. This is the friend I spoke of with your wife that attempted to dispel whatever hold the lich had on him.
Sorry. Aldrik, can you do me a favor and roll perception?
Nice. Aldrik sees all.
All right.
Kale, I imagine Lex leaving your mind and your head just exploding like a watermelon.
Probably not.
And can you remind me who has eaten or drank of food in this room?
Oh man.
Oh,
Alvin had some fruit.
Kale
But he
would
doesn't
have
drink
tried
anything.
some food, yeah.
Oh
But I
man.
don't think he would have had a lot since he ate the meat roast and the milk. Milk's a detoxifying agent. Just saying.
I just had some apples. Don't Snow White me, please.
Please roll Constitution saving throws.
Nice.
Oh, were we tricked? No. Alvin's dead.
Kale's alive. Haha, joke's on you. No. I'll save you.
Should I do it or not? What do you think?
Yeah,
you
you came in
eat?
and ate.
Alright.
You said you were eating, yeah.
Okay, saving throw?
Or drank, yeah.
See, I should have stuck to my own meat roast. Now look at you. You're all dead.
All right. So, Kale, as you watch, everyone kind of starts blinking and falls over asleep.
Oh, fuck you. The old man.
Hold on.
Really?
Wait.
Really?
Wait. Okay. As you notice people kind of falling over in their chairs and such, the old man will slam into you.
Can I use Oh, shield won't work. 1d20 plus 7.
That was his initiative. Sorry.
Oh.
Can't do anything. I'm annoyed.
Okay, and he's going to slam into you twice. He does get surprise attack.
I wouldn't be alerted
Does
as soon as I
extra-
see them fall over.
Yes, but it is an attack in the first round of combat, and it is a special trait for this specific creature.
What?
Oh my god, Aldrik, you were right.
Guys, screw you.
Sorry.
Why am I the one that's stuck in a clutch situation?
Because you're awake. All right, so he gets oh gosh. Okay, so he logistically gets a double slam and a surprise attack bonus. So let's start first with the double slam.
At least it's not going after the knocked out people. That's a good thing.
Okay, so
Yeah, where's Trym? I need Trym. Come on. Help me, please. My god.
Yeah, where's Trym?
she's out with
She's right outside the door waiting.
she's
Wake everybody up.
okay.
She's oh!
Okay. All right. That's the first. Sorry, that's the first, which is 8. Not bad. Okay. Then the second.
LOL!
Second
He
misses.
slams his face into a mouthful of food and
Yep.
goes and sleeps.
Please?
And he gets the oh well.
He slams into Alvin and wakes him up.
No.
Damn it.
So let me first attach the surprise attack bonus on the first slam, and then we'll figure out what happens with that critical. Let's see.
Can he like run into, I don't know, fire pit or something?
I don't like not being able to do anything.
What kind of a creature attacks with a slam and then does it twice?
A mimic. The stupid
Wait, so
brother.
is that 8 plus 10?
So it's a total of 8 plus 10.
Are you?
Are you unconscious? You're not unconscious, right?
No, I'm not.
Shouldn't be.
I'm not.
Shouldn't
But
be.
I'm 3 HP.
Oh my god.
Oh. Oh, you're fucked now.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
Wait. Now I gotta do the critical part. And I've got to read the surprise attack again. Hold on 1 second.
Kale, remember that time I gave you a health potion and you told me just to hold on to it? 'Cause
I'll
you won't
steal
need
it off your body. I'll steal it off your body. Don't worry. I'm gonna do that. But first there's gonna be a lot of explosions.
Remember that we're in the room, please.
Oh,
First,
okay.
there's going to be
Okay.
explosions.
Kale, you're not gonna like this. He also does have the ambusher trait, which means that he gets advantage on attack rolls on the first round.
That's dumb.
So I'm going to re-roll the slam one more time.
Please be shieldable. Please be shieldable.
That sounds shielded.
Shieldable. Shieldable.
Okay. All right. So you took a total of 18 damage,
Yes.
and so now crit failure. I actually just recently did a fumble table. Let me see what that looks like. Okay. So as he slams or tries to slam into you again, he kind of slides past you, and it says it opens you up or him up to a counterattack. So you get an attack of opportunity, which is melee.
With what?
Which is
I have a
melee.
long sword.
Okay.
I guess I'll slash that.
Okay.
It still says broken even though I've patched it.
Okay.
It was broken and then I used mending to patch it. It was pretty looking. Does that hit?
It does not.
Okay. It's okay.
All right.
This is fine. This
This
is
is
fine.
fine.
Is this room 20 feet? How big is this room?
This room is. Yep. Hold on. I had it on the other page. I didn't put that on the thing, but looking at it, it is about 10 by 20.
So, is it possible for me to run away around 30 feet away from this guy and then cast Fireball without hitting anyone else? Or at least hitting the tanks only?
No, because you're inside a room. Can you open the door and go out into the tavern? Yes. I would say you would be able to.
There are people outside, right?
But there are people outside.
Okay, that's great. Then I'm going to rush out the door
Okay.
and then look back
Okay.
and cast.
Wait,
Okay.
this is not a good idea.
So you are casting Fireball back into the room?
No.
Kale, we're
Okay.
all asleep.
Oh.
I think that's
Yeah.
I'm just checking.
I won't be doing. I won't be doing
Okay.
that. I'll
Okay.
be casting. Gosh,
Shut the
missile does no
door.
damage.
Cast Wake Up My Friends at max level.
I could cast Scorching Ray twice, but it'll be, I think, high risk. I am under half HP. I don't. Am I
Wait,
suffering
you're
a
at
condition?
3? You are.
I would be suffering exhaustion because
Yeah.
that slam hurt.
Yeah.
2. I won't be casting in the highest available spell slot, but I will be using 2 sorcery points, so that's 4. I haven't used Tides of Chaos,
Okay. So you
so
are
that'll be
currently
4.
at
3.
2 levels of exhaustion because you're under 5 hit points.
Is it suffering from? Is it from every condition suffered?
Um,
Wait, 2 levels of exhaustion means I get disadvantage on attacks, right? On attack rolls.
yes. Yes.
That means I'm just gonna cast magic missile because I'll whiff all my shots.
Okay.
So I will be casting magic missile
Yes, it does.
at a. Okay, fuck it. I'm high risk because I'll cast magic missile as a 3rd level spell once, use 2 sorcery points, and then use magic missile as a 2nd level spell. And then whatever happens, happens. So, I'll roll wild magic for the 3rd level spell first.
Okay.
I'm still doing math here.
And who
Okay.
are you hitting?
2 conditions, half maximum points, casting in a high available spell slot. I won't be using sorcery points for this spell just yet. So that's
Okay.
still 4, right?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, but it is or so never mind. Yeah. Two
I don't know why. Okay.
modes of
So-
light float around your head for 1 second. Okay, that's nothing.
Okay.
I think that's what it says.
Yes, it does.
Right?
Yes. Not
Okay,
sure why it
so-
doesn't come up, but I'm sure it's because actually I started that one with a number, so it always gets confused. I'll have to change that. All right. So yeah,
So-
you dash out into the dash is in quotes because you're moving at half speed into the tavern, elbowing your way past a couple of patrons and lob some magic missiles back into the room. You are casting 2 at people and then the others at the enemy.
Wait, how many of them are there?
She's asking if you're targeting us to wake us up.
Yes.
Oh no. It's all on it's all on the enemy.
Okay.
Ah,
Sorry, I don't
Wake us up, Kale. Shoot us, man.
I don't know if it's going to wake you up.
Being shot with magic usually wakes people up.
Okay, the next one will hit you guys.
Would Lex know that? Out of curiosity, would Lex know if that would actually wake us up?
I wouldn't know because I would think it's
Yeah.
okay. Wait, if it's magical sleeping, I assume you would be waking up. But if it's chemically slept, then it's not gonna matter how much I kick you. And I'm assuming
It is
since
true.
it's food, it was chemicals. I'm just saying. You guys are roofied.
Yeah, you do what you want to do.
I'm gonna kill this guy in 1 turn. Watch. So 18 damage.
Okay.
That won't kill it, but
Right.
hopefully the people will see and help me.
Okay. So you turn around, you fire several bolts of energy back into the room. You hear gasps and shock around you, and people kind of like move back. Any other?
Yeah, and then
Or
I'll be using
anything?
2 sorcery points to get a bonus action to be able to
Okay.
cast another spell as a bonus action. And then I'll be. Yeah, at any rate, this is going to be a high risk cast.
Okay.
Actually, wait. I need to check how many. Oh, never mind. Yeah, so I'll be casting Magic Missile again. No, it just makes any spell a bonus action. I think. That's how we've been doing it this whole time. I don't know. No, this is quicken spell. Twin is something else. Twinning would be like being able to cast 2 fireballs at once. Whoa, that'd be awesome.
Okay,
But
so
I don't think that's
are
the way it
you
works.
casting another magic missile?
Yes, I'm casting magic
Or
missile
2?
again.
Okay, go ahead. Roll your wild magic and cast your magic missile.
One sec, looking for my token.
Okay.
Okay. Wow, super lucky. And then that'll be 4 bolt. So 4d4 plus 4.
All right.
Please be dead.
So
That's 29 damage.
yes, the figure of the older man comes stumbling through the doorway, and is all, help me, he's attacking me.
Yeah, fuck you, man. You slept all my friends.
He pushes his way into the crowd a bit, falls and takes down like about 4 or 5 people. And there's just like about 5 or 6 people on the ground right now.
Kale looks at his wounds, goes like, I'm assuming people are looking at the old man now?
They're looking at you because you cast magic and the pile of people on the ground.
Why are there piles of people on the ground?
Because we're asleep.
No, he
Oh.
also, when he went out into the sea of people in the tavern, he came out, he dragged a bunch of people down as he fell in front of them.
There's gotta be a way for me to reveal the kind of person that he is. I assume we're out of combat right now. Like, he's incapacitated. He's not going to try and attack me.
No, that's why I'm giving you your turn.
Well, I've run out of movement. I can't quite dash back in.
Is this a new turn or the same turn for Kale?
It's the same turn, so I'm gonna have to politically talk this out.
It is, so that was his turn, right? So now it's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn again already.
Yes. That was his turn. Movement, action.
Damn, how do I explain this? I'm not good to negotiate. I know most people don't trust me right now, but could I technically do deception so that it looks like I'm telling the truth?
Yeah, in this case, what are you trying to do?
Convince other people that this guy poisoned all my friends and now look at them, they're dead.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
Dead.
Well, if you add they're dead, that would be deception. If you're trying to convince them that you're the good guy here, that'd be persuasion.
Do the persuasion.
I don't know that you guys aren't dead.
That's a good point. He doesn't know that
Yeah.
we're not dead.
For all I know, you guys just fell over and suddenly this... Actually, what does this guy look like when he hit me? I assume like I couldn't notice, but
He looked like the old man.
when he slammed into me?
Yep.
Wait, that man could slam me?
It's
No,
not
right?
really him.
Yeah, it's not really him. So, but he didn't change.
It takes an action to change form.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, then I'm just going to do a deception.
But
And-
don't they gain the attributes of the person when they do that though?
If it was a polymorph, yes, but it's not really a polymorph.
He's just an illusion.
It's not really an illusion. It is their
Shapeshifters?
trait is more like a shapeshifter that keeps their original trait.
He's the shapeshifter that Lady Nusor warned us about.
Yeah. Oh! This might not be the old man.
That's what we've been saying!
Kale!
Oh. No, I didn't realize that
Oh
until now.
my-
But anyway, deception check saying that
Well, it's not deception because you don't know.
deception saying that he poisoned all my friends.
Okay. So I would say right now half of the room is just completely shocked. They're not really doing anything. They're staring, mouths open, and Buela's all, "What trouble are you getting into?" She's like at the doorway of the inn. She just saw
Kale looks at Buela with pleading eyes. Please just take a look at my friends. Are they okay? And then he kind of down from the injuries.
Okay, so she looks at the she looks kind of around the corner inside the room, and she goes, "I think they're breathing. I think they're breathing. What's
thank
going
God."
on here?" And she starts helping people up off the floor. And she helps up everyone,
Should I kill him?
and you don't see him.
Fuck. Do I see two of the same people?
No, you can roll a perception if you'd like.
No, I don't see anything.
Yeah.
God damn it!
She's all, "What's going on here?" And people just start scattering. Some are going up to their room. Some are like going up to the bar to get another drink. There's a lot of whispering. You can kind of hear people saying, "He did magic." And,
Goddamn right, I did magic.
she spots Wildy. She sends Wildy out to go get Trym.
Kale walks towards Alvin's limp body, looks around his pocket for the healing potion, chugs it down, and then just leans back.
All right, go ahead, roll your healing potion.
What is that? I actually don't know how to heal with potions.
I should know that too.
It's a 2d4 plus 2.
Thanks. Okay, Trym comes in. She does her lay on hands on everyone in the room, which clears poisons and different conditions. At 5 points, luckily she's level 5. Wakes you guys up.
Ah! What?
Yay!
What was...
That wasn't the old man.
What?
Huh?
What do you mean?
That wasn't the old man. That was.
Well, I
that was.
I wonder, somebody who just decided to go out and spout everything without even bothering to check.
As if
We-
you knew.
To be fair, I don't think any of us suspected. We
True.
should have. Where is he now?
He's gone.
Uh,
He collapsed over some people and he just disappeared.
Well,
Shapeshifter. I would... Okay. Alvin's going to go see if he can find Lady Nusor and Lady Nobilia upstairs and see if they're okay.
Do you think the old man's dead?
I hope not.
Kale looks at Robin. Follow me. We're gonna go to their carriage.
Okay.
All right.
It's really thoughtless of you. You really should have held your tongue a little.
Robin, you could have said something the whole time, and you didn't try to stop him at all.
Well, he was already... You can't stop
Wait,
him with
did
how
you
fast
actually
he
know that this guy was a shapeshifter before he shapeshifted?
No,
Fuck
but
this over.
I didn't fully trust him beforehand, so I wasn't gonna say much, other than our names at first. But you decided to just go and
All
spill
they
your
know
guts.
is that all they know is that I'm not actually a magic user, or that I'm a crazy person.
Duh!
And
Does...
everybody knows I'm a crazy person.
Okay. So, Alvin, you ask the innkeeper who directs you upstairs to Lady Nobilia's room. You come across Lady Nusor at the open doorway. They're kind of talking, and she is casting some sort of spell or protection spell up on the door frame.
Alvin's going to approach her a little bit aggressively. And when he gets there, he's going to ask, "You asked me a question in the carriage about what I thought about mind reading. How did I respond?"
Says, you did not like it.
Yes, you asked me if I thought it was evil. What did I say?
You were unsure. What is going on? Let me read your mind again.
Fuck him
Alvin
up!
is unhappy about it, but
Fuck him up!
fine.
Okay,
Fine.
do you want to resist?
Is Aldrik with me?
Aldrik is with you.
Alvin looks at Aldrik and says, "If she tries to do anything, please stop her." And then Alvin will look at her and said, "Fine, go ahead."
Okay. You can kind of feel her just skim across, and then she stops and she says, "My husband is following Khan. I don't know who you were talking to."
Yes. Well, I have a fair idea. It's a shapeshifter. Maybe Zelina. Is Nobilia okay? And you seems like you're you.
She hasn't left my sight.
Then
But-
we're gonna go see what we can find. Alvin
She
turns and
did,
leaves.
yeah, she says only when we were settling our carriage.
Okay. Well, please keep watch on her then. We're gonna go see what we can do about these shapeshifters.
Okay. All right, and Robin
Fuck, I
and
just-
Kale, you were on your way to go find the carriage for the Noosers.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping Trym can follow us though.
Yeah, Trym's with you. Yeah, Trym.
Then Kale will walk up right into the. Actually, Kale will go up to the shapeshifter's carriage and then. Oh man, I want to blow it up and set it on fire.
Okay. Yeah, so you go up to the shapeshifter's carriage. You don't see anyone around.
Can I knock?
Yeah. So I agree with Aldrik that it is getting late. So I am going to put a pin in this right now.
Thank you.
And
Okay,
you
sure.
You think what you're going to do with the wagon of the shapeshifters
Burn it.
for the week. Okay.
Oh no, the carriage caught fire. How did this happen? Oh no.
I think everyone's gonna know after the magic you just casted in there. I don't
Yeah.
think anyone's gonna doubt who did it.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry it ran a little late tonight.
No, this was the
No,
best session. This was so
That
good.
was. Oh!
I'm so sad Trym wasn't here for this.
Yeah.
This was awesome.
The slam hit me in game and in real life too.
Oh, I thought when I was getting the apple, I was like, what if it's poison? I said, no, I was already suspicious in the carrots. I'm sure it's fine.
All right.
I like how we agreed to the change. It's like the change and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
she specifically told me she'd bring a wagon alongside ours and we would do it there. And then
Right, and
anyway,
then-
just went in the room anyways.
Yeah, like, oh.
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
Oh, that was... Good.
That was really good, Cindy. That was a lot of fun.
You actually, you guys actually would have run across the Noosers at High Market selling things, including looking for phylacteries. It's in the way original, but it's like, oh, this isn't quite what I expected would happen.
We didn't care about the Noosers. we were busy in a tournament, earning money, and then getting pink crossbows, getting paid by cultists.
Fighting in pits, getting kill money.
Yeah. We were great.
All right. Well, thanks again. We'll see you guys
Thank you
next
so
week.
much.
Oh,
can't
thanks,
wait.
guys. It was
All
fun.
right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.